want to just dialogue with you about empathy and focusing. And you had mentioned you had want to just talk about general understandings about empathy to begin with.
Well, I want to say, first of all, how much I admire your work and how much I believe in what you're doing, because I believe that empathy can move mountains. Empathy can change the world, and it changes situations when we bring empathy in. So I had a story that moved me very much that I heard recently, where a woman came into a children's section of a hospital, and a child was having absolute emotional meltdown. She'd been told she couldn't go home today. And she's screaming, "I want to go home, I want to go home." And all the kind people around her, the aides, the nurses, and so on, her mother, are offering her, you know, here's what you can do instead. Mm-hmm. Here's a doll, here's a toy. And she's screaming, "I want to go home." So the woman walks in and kneels down to the child's level and says, "Sweetie, you want to go home." And the child stops screaming. Just, there's silence in the room, and her attention shifts. Now without even saying another word, now she's interested in the toys and the dolls and so on. And so what we see happening over and over again is that people hold fixed positions until their position is heard, and then there's a shift. And if we look at the world today, what makes us frustrated, sad, and angry about so many of the things that are going on is people holding fixed positions and unable to hear each other. And even the people that we believe in, who we think ought to be the ones who are prevailing, are also holding fixed positions and not hearing or being heard. And so the power of empathy to open a space where something new can happen is enormously impressive. And yes, in my 44 years now of working with focusing and listening, I've seen it over and over and over again. So that's very powerful. And so what I would say is empathy releases impasse. And that's true. We see it all over the place when it's possible. In groups, in working groups, even people who like each other. Like I just came from a committee making some decisions about focusing and how it's taught in the world. And there were two strong positions there. And at the start of the meeting, people were feeling, I will never accept, I will never agree. You know, one faction in favor of creating some standards, another faction in favor of being flexible and trusting. I mean, it's often, you know, this kind of both and situation where really both have some rightness, but they've got a hold of their position. But by the end of the meeting, because we listened to each other, because we could hear where each other were coming from, each side relaxed and a new solution emerged that wasn't even being thought of before. And so I see this also, Edwin, that in groups, there's an intelligence that emerges because people listen to each other. And that's very interesting to me.
What I'm hearing there is that people get fixed in their way, and they don't want to change until they've really been heard then. And so in a sense, when we start getting empathized with, we start getting heard, we start softening and are more willing to listen to others, but we have to be heard to begin with first.
That's right. And so right now, this moment of feeling empathized with by you, I feel already in my body a kind of relaxing, a smile, a sense of a deeper breath coming. So we right now are having that moment of empathy. And it feels like, okay, it forms a kind of solid foundation. Now we can continue. If you had not understood me, we could have worked it out. But if you had not understood me and had not said anything, then we would be in trouble.
Yeah. Well, I know, in terms of the benefits of empathy, the one I like is Carl Rogers said, "It feels damn good."
Yes, exactly. To put it briefly, it does feel damn good. Yeah, that's right. That's right. And it's so many instances. I was in a group recently where I was a participant, and I was in a little bit of a tangle with the group leader, trying to say that something he'd done didn't work for me, and he was kind of defending it. And then suddenly he paused and said, I notice I'm getting into a defensive moment here, and I would rather just really hear that you're feeling frustrated and confused. And at the moment he said that, my whole body changed. And I felt more open, more flexible, more open to understanding him. And one of the insights from Jenlyn's work and from focusing is that hearing and being understood is a body process as well as a mental process. We are body as we meet each other. We meet each other heart to heart and gut to gut, and not just head to head. And notice, I'm sure that you've noticed, that if you only hear somebody as an intellectual exercise, if you parrot back their words, it doesn't work. It doesn't have the empathic effect.